Hey, welcome to the channel. I am Musically Malnourished, and you're on my journey to go deep and wide in discovering new music and artists. We are in the 2015 album from BAND-MAID called New Beginning. This is track number 4, Price of Pride. I think I could probably take a guess as to what this one is about, but we're going to give it a listen to hear the music, feel the music, then we'll jump into the lyrics on the other side. Okay, the sound on this one is amazing, dude. I don't know why I feel like I'm playing Sonic right now, but it's just like this driving, just speed type feeling. Now, listen, I've mentioned the production one of the previous videos, but really, I'd be curious. I'll listen to it in my truck, but like over here is one guitarist, rump, 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 and then over here is a whole different sound, and it's like swelling. It's really great with a pair of headphones in. You know, one thing that would be interesting is, and of course I can't really help seeing the title before coming into these songs. And so, but one thing I am trying to do before obviously getting into any of the lyrics or really understanding what the song is about is trying to, again, feel, and you guys get what I'm saying, like feel what they're conveying. And it sounds like this, I don't know if judgment is the right word, but judgment in the good kind of way. And that is a theme in their writing as well, is this like, hey, make a decision type, especially when it comes to relationships or love. It's like, I'm here, I'm all for it, but you're wavering, and make a decision type thing. But even just the sound of their vocals and everything in here carries kind of a serious tone to it. So I'm always curious on the other side with the lyrics. Yeah, dude. Man, more and more Psyche, and I know Miku as well, but are really just coming into their own with these vocals. They really shine. And really it's like that, I think, with any artist on their debut album for the most part, is there is kind of this rawness to it, and it just obviously gets refined over time. But wow, I'm really impressed. So I'm excited to see where that goes ultimately. Hey, one thing I do want to bring you in on is right before we jump into the lyrics, one of the things that I've tried to do with the channel, merch is a really hard thing, but I just can't help it. I have a background in design and video and things like that. And so my mind just works that way. And so as I've listened to songs and I've heard lyrics, I just have these pictures painted in my mind. And so I wanted to create merch for the channel that really spoke to those who are part of the channel or those who know the artist very well. And so I've taken certain lyrics or songs or ideas that are conveyed, and I've turned it into merch. And that's what I'll continue to do. So I have a few designs for each artist that I'm going through right now. And I wanted to show you the ones real quick that I have for BAND-MAID in case you might be interested. So this design is based on the Moon Rabbit from one of the previous songs. And this was on the Made in Japan album. And so each piece of clothing comes in a t-shirt or a hoodie option. And I've just kept it all pretty basic, but they all have kind of a emblem or a seal on the front that reflects the channel, but it all points back to the designs that are on the back. And I've really focused on kind of like band type t-shirts, just big, crazy graphics and things on the back. So that might not be your thing, but I thought they were fun. So this obviously is a rendering of the Moon Rabbit making mochi, which obviously is not actually making mochi. It's kind of creating light. And this actually stands for in the back Moon Rabbit, and then the one that's there on the moon stands for light. So there's that. And then I also made one from, I loved the Freezer song. And so may not be a literal, translation or full meaning, but at least part of what I got from the song, is this idea of when you have these toxic relationships or whatever, it's okay freezing a person in place so they don't hurt you, and just it's kind of like I'm finished with this right now. And so again, there's an emblem on the front that fits the graphic on the back, and so you do have a obviously not a depiction of one of the actual girls, but this whole thing of walking away and keeping him frozen on ice. So there's tons of different colors and things. And like I said, each one's in a t-shirt and in a hoodie option. But just wanted you to know about those. Let's hop over, take a look at our lyrics. Price of Pride is BAND-MAID's declaration of self-worth, an anthem about staying true to yourself in a world full of shallow smiles and fake encouragement. It rejects empty words. You can do it. Just try harder. That's interesting. And insists that real confidence comes from conviction, not validation. Man, I just can't get over the wisdom that is conveyed through their writing. Confidence comes from conviction, like being sure of what you believe and what you know is right, not validation from others. Validation's shallow. The lyrics cut through pretense with quiet strength. She doesn't dream big for applause. She just wants to live authentically, even if it's messy, even if it costs her. That's the true price of pride, paying the cost of being real in a world that rewards imitation. All right, so getting down here into our translation. I've got no interest in chasing some grand dream. The real world is just full of smiling masks. Okay, pretty self-explanatory. If your resolve is weak, it'll fall apart in no time. If you just drift along, you won't have a tomorrow. There's an interesting quote too. Is it everyone's going somewhere, few are going there on purpose. It was actually a book somewhere. Every time I turn around to get a book off my shelf, I'm like, why do I do this to myself? Because the chances of me spotting it in 5 seconds, oh snap. Okay. This is an old version of this book. There is a new version, but I just love this version because nobody really makes books like this anymore, even if it's a little cheesy, because it's got this, it's called Kazon. Now, this is by a pastor named Craig Groeschel, but the whole point is Kazon is from the Hebrew meaning a dream, revelation, or vision. You were born with your own Kazon. Do you know what it is? So he kind of walks through this whole thing about like pursuing your purpose and understanding what it is and things like that. But anyways, that's kind of the same concept of this idea of like, you can't just drift along, you know, you will have a tomorrow, but it's going to be one that just kind of comes at you. But you'd rather be purposeful about creating your tomorrow. Pathetic, maybe, but I won't lose sight of myself. That's my one and only rule. That's beautiful. Especially as an artist, this really kind of speaks to them too, I think, you know, really being true to themselves and what they wanted to do in this album as well, kind of marks that for them and only increases from there. And they were rewarded for it. Don't expect too much from me, saying things like, you can do it. That's so fake. Those template phrases, keep trying, believe in yourself, please stop. I'm not that cheap. Even if I'm light, even if I'm shallow, it's my crafted, true price of pride. I'm curious. This is curious because then it gets into obviously the title of the song. We'll keep moving. There's probably a translation note for this, but we'll definitely come back to this. This moment is all we've got. Before you know it, time steals everything. You're left older with nothing to show for it. Pathetic maybe, but I'll live without breaking from my path, even if I regret it someday. Don't expect too much from me. If it's annoying, say goodbye. It's like, hey, this is who I am, dude. So like, if it's annoying, just, you know, say goodbye. Like, I'm not changing what I feel is right in the path that I know I'm supposed to walk on. Irresponsibility, that's your thing, isn't it? Always caring about appearances. I'll just live the way I want. Even if I get hurt or dirty, it'll still shine. The true price of pride. Okay, this paints a better picture for me. I don't think, we'll check the translation on this, the literal translation and what's being communicated. Even if I'm light, okay, light and shallow, probably interchangeable and to some extent, you know, like shallow, obviously we understand what shallow is, not having depth. So light could be this idea of not having weight, like frivolity, frivolity. All right, guys, English lesson time. It's frivolity. Let's see. You can't see it real well, but hopefully you should be able to hear it. Hold on.
Frivolity.
What? Come on, say it again.
Frivolity.
Frivolity. All right. Is that the first thing I said? I don't know. I think I had it pretty right. But this idea of frivolous living, right? Treating things as if they don't really matter. And so it almost sounds like this idea of if she's going to pursue those things, it's like you are being frivolous to some extent, or this accusation of being shallow. It's my crafted true price of pride. So I don't think, obviously they could be speaking about pride in a negative sense, because obviously there is a negative sense to pride. I don't think we should live our lives just like, I'm going to do what I want, you can deal with it. that doesn't seem wise to me. There are times you have to live that way, but it is not the way we orient our lives. We orient our lives through responsibility partly, and understanding social responsibilities, whether that's in your family or your job or your city or whatever it is. And so, you move past, out of the way for somebody on a sidewalk, or open a door for somebody, or say thank you. Those are the simple gestures, right? That are not just, I'm going to live my way, you can deal with it. It's the understanding we live in a society. But because of that, right, we try to find some place within that, cognizant of the people around us, while at the same time having some personal agency, and at times you have to reject what others are saying and go the path that or many times you wouldn't succeed at anything. You wouldn't try anything new. So I feel like in that sense, it's this price of pride in yourself, of self-worth, of conviction. That was a word, that was in the summary. And when you have a conviction of something, you have a pride about it. It's this pride that's like, hold your head up high, not this pride that's like, I know better than everybody, and I'm better than everybody, and nobody can tell me any. I think it's more of this like understanding of self. And so it is. If you think things are going to turn out whatever way, I'm going to try to help them turn out a certain way. I'm designing a path forward, and it will be my price of pride. And hopefully, for all of us, that works out well. So yeah, that shed more light on it for me for sure. Okay. You left older. Okay, I'll live without breaking from my path, even if I regret it someday. Don't expect too much from me. Always caring about appearances. I'll just live the way I want. Even if I get hurt or dirty, I'll still shine. The true price of pride. Even if I'm light, even if I'm shallow, it's still my true price of pride. I'm glad we unlocked that. I really feel like I hit the nail on the head with that one. This is really what illuminated it for me, though. If you get hurt or dirty, that's the realization that's like, this might be the outcome, and it will be my price of pride, but I'm still going to shine. Like, I'm still confident I'm going in the right direction. Okay. I just want to look at this for a second. Yeah, it still uses this light. Okay, so the price of pride refers to the emotional cost of being genuine. Pride isn't arrogance here, it's integrity. Nice. Nailed it. Template lines. Oh, that must have been in the literal translation. I don't remember seeing anything about template lines. A jab at insincere encouragement and cultural politeness masking apathy. Where's that at? Here it is. Surely you can do it. Do your best. Stop with the template lines. So let's see what it says in our other translation. Those template phrases. Okay, so sorry, I was reading lines as like drawing lines. They mean like spoken lines, phrases. So yeah, these just kind of like empty things, Cultural politeness, masking apathy. Wow. Even if light, even if nice, self-aware humility. She admits imperfection, but still values her authenticity. Guys, we did it. I think we nailed all these. I'm basically like a professional at Japanese now. No. This song's realism balances the fiery optimism of Thrill, the icy defiance of Freezer. It's self-reflective maturity in motion. And of course, we have our credits there if you want to take a look at those, because the link to these documents is always in the description, so you can feel free to take a look. Man, really cool song. Loving this album. and excited to see where they go next. Thank you for joining me for this one. I hope to see you in the next one because we're eating good.